Dire team ban.
Game 1 was a stomp, going all the way, all to Dignitas the entire way, I should say. Game number 2, just as lopsided, but that time Mouz Sports administering the woodshed beating. Now Game 3 on the way between these two squads, and it's win or go home time for both. Game number 3 of this best of 3. Team Dignitas taking on Mouz Sports. I'm EC, and you're tuned in to One More Game TV 2. My co-caster for the broadcast, once again, Fnatic's own Fly. So Fly, we talked a little bit about it, man. In both games, there was a definitive point where everything just fell apart. Game number 2, though, I felt like Dignitas at least hung in and had a chance to come back, but in the end, it was just the excellent play out of Mouz Sports supports that really opened things up.
Oh yeah, game 2 was fairly one-sided, but Mouz played really well. Got to hand it to them. This game, we're going to see the Coddle actually banned. Won't be surprised if Dignitas do again go with the Darkseer Rubik as last game, considering the fact that there's no Coddle now, so Coddle PL is less of an issue. But once again, Mag on Mouz Sports side, Fada does play it fairly well, as we saw last game. So I do agree with this first pick. It's fine, doesn't give away too much, and we're going to see what Dignitas wants to do this game. I believe, although for those interested, I believe it is a USC server, and now we see the Darkseer and Rubik being picked up here.
Very stable picks coming out of Dignitas. What do you want to bet that TA is going to be the third pick? I'll bet you anything it's a TA.
Oh yeah, we're going to see. Maybe. They could actually change it up and go for a Queen of Pain, maybe. You know, something else.
Yeah, right. like Fog's going to give up a chance to play a TA. One thing I do want to ask you, though, when we have a moment and wait for these picks to pan themselves out, and Phantom Lancer is available again if Mouz wants to take him. But, you know, casting both Asian Dota and Western Dota as much as I have over the past month, Wisp remains a big question for me. I mean, beating a Wisp is not hard so long as you're disciplined and you're able to play defensive, stick together, always be ready to react to any situation. Why is it that Western teams continue to prioritize that hero as much as they do?
I just think the hero is very strong, and it's not about the fact that you can stay as 5 and you're pretty much like it works out. It's that Wisp basically allows 2 of your heroes to stay together, Wisp +1 and farm, while the other 3 maybe defend the tower. You can push yourself, you can maybe gain XP over them, and if they stick as 5, there's a good chance you're going to outfarm them. So, of course, I haven't played against Asian teams, so I can't say it's going to work against them, but in the Western scene, Wisp is a very, very powerful hero, and first pick material for sure. We have great success with him, and a lot of other teams do as well, so yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to play against Asians to, you know, say for sure.
I got you. And again, the reason I bring that up is you see Dignitas getting the 2 heroes we knew they wanted in the Rubik and the Darkseer. And, you know, with other very high-value heroes still available and in the pool, you know, I see the Wisp ban, and I see it on almost every game. I mean, there's almost always a team in every single series that does not want that hero to get through. But having seen, you know, the Asian teams just not care about it, you know, and I was just interested in a pro player's insight into that, because I can't help, having seen and had a chance to compare both scenes over the last month, I just can't help but see that and go, you know, is there not a hero you would rather ban out? PL will be the pickup for Mouz. They're going to have Clock Mag and the PL, so I'll tell you what, if there's anything these two teams like, it's consistency. They don't like to break the mold, man.
Oh, yeah. The thing I don't like about this so much is that they basically give away their lanes already. Like, you know who's going to be the farming solo, like on the short, you're going to know who's going to be offlane, and you know the mag middle. So Dignitas has all the time in the world to figure out how they want to lane this and what is the most optimal thing. Sure, TA is not bad, but Clockwork is actually a pretty good hero against TA. So I could see them going for something else. Maybe another supporter right now. Maybe a Chen, if they want to get some early push going on. Another possible thing is another solo mid hero, say a Queen of Pain or whatnot. A Puck would be okay as well. I think Puck would be a pretty legit pick as well for them. But we're going to see what they want to go with. I don't think they will pick the TA this time.
One hero that kind of jumps out at me, and this is just, you know, giving an example of something I think they could do very effectively, and it does abuse what you just mentioned, the fact that they can't easily predict the lanes out of Mouz Sports. If they wanted to pick up a gyrocopter here, I would be able to get behind it, because then if they wanted, they could actually just complete their lineup with a Tiny later on, which is exactly what we saw them use to try and answer the PL before. Now, obviously, Mouz is going to have 3 bans, so that might confound things a bit. But knowing, as you said, that you're going to have a clock almost, I mean, you know, depending on how they want to do it, but there's going to be a place for a gyro to farm, and there's going to be a place for a tiny to farm, almost certainly. They're going to go ahead and grab a Luna. I think that jives in the same way that a gyro possibly could have. And that's kind of what I'm interested to see. Is Dignitas going to give us a 2-carry lineup to try and cope with PL, or are they just going to go ahead and just pick a typical mid? You know, well, when you say typical mid, a mid they might want to take a look at is going to be Puck. Puck has such good reach and good counter initiation.
Well, yeah, I think Puck would be a great pick. You see Mouz banning Chen. You don't want to get pushed over quickly by the Luna plus Chen, which is definitely scary. I think they had that first game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Oh yeah, so it makes sense. One thing they could have done is try to pretty much punish the fact that their solo lanes are fairly weak. Clock and Mag, 1v1, you can put so many heroes that will pretty much crush them. But with the Darkseer, of course, it's a little harder since they already gave away one of their solos. So I think both teams will go, you know, have a safe lane, tri lane, and basically try to get most out of their carries. So I'm interested to see which mid hero to go with. The TA does get banned. I don't necessarily agree with it. I do think the Puck or Queen of Pain will be better for Dignitas, mostly Puck.
Yep.
But of course it's not a bad ban as well, since Snaking does play it well and they do feel comfortable with that hero. So I'm curious to see what 2 heroes they're going to end up with, and sorry about that slam. Everything's okay? Nothing's broke?
Yay!
Okay.
But yeah, there's the Puck ban, so they were on the same wavelength we were, and yet, I agree with you. If Dignitas was going to take the TA, they would have taken her in the first 3. I don't feel like that's necessarily the most effective ban out of Mouz Sports. I'm still not convinced they're not going to try to run some kind of a 2-carry lineup, even a Juggernaut potentially. They could do something funny with him. You know, just looking at the way the last game went, Dignitas just seemed to have a real hard time getting their legs underneath them. And granted, you know, Mouz Sports did just happen to rack up like a gorillion kills in the river whenever Dignitas is just running one hero at a time to their death. And that certainly doesn't help. But, you know, a Gyrocopter still available. Even if they wanted to run him as a support, I really would respect that. Just because of the power of Rocket Barrage and Call Down in the mid-game, I feel like that would give them a lot of extra room to breathe. And you can always transition a Gyro into a carry later on. We'll see, though. Jakiro going to be the pickup for Mouz, so another very solid, if very milquetoast kind of a pickup.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I think they might pick up the Queen of Pain or even a Storm at this point. The other option is actually having the Luna middle, which is fairly strong, 1v1, and having a different carry in short, like you said, the Gyro or a Tiny, although that does make it for a lot of very farm-dependent heroes. Oh, they might actually contest with this pick, which I do like a lot.
Picking up the Undying, going to look to make it a little bit more difficult for Mouz to fight as a team. But, I mean, just the front 3 of Mouz is so scary to me, especially when you have a Jakiro now to lay down a Macro Pyre on top of an RP and an Ice Path to hold him in place, Clockwork in his reach. You know, and I just worry about Dignitas' damage output if they get behind. You know, we touched on that a little bit earlier in Game 2. Is there just some lineups that if you get too behind, then you end up with a really hard time trying to fight your way back into it, which is exactly what happened to Dignitas. And, you know, Undying's one of those heroes that does thrive very much in a tri-lane situation. Shadow Demon going to be another pickup from Mouz. Excellent hero. Love that hero in a variety of situations. But, you know, I would actually be a little bit surprised if we didn't see an offensive tri-lane come out from Dignitas. They could mid the Darkseer and surprise us here with the Gyro pick, I think.
Yeah, so at the moment, everything is possible. You could tri-lane Rubik and Undying with any of the other 2 heroes. Of course, Darkseer is not as optimal because he does need levels, but it is even possible, and it's very annoying to go up against Darkseer and Undying, I'm sure. PL, Jakiro, and Shadow Demon is a fairly strong challenge in itself, but I do think they might have the edge. I'm curious to see what the other solo is going to be, because they might really just try to punish the other 2 solos, which is what I like, considering the fact that they picked them up so early. So we're going to see what they end up with here any moment now.
Dignitas taking their time. Excuse me, I was trying to hold that cough back. Could not hold it back. Yeah, there it is.
There you go.
That's what I thought. I mean, when you look at this lineup, why would you have an Undying and a Luna? Like, why pick those heroes if you're not going to be aggressive with them? Now they're going to have a chance. They could run Gyro mid. I mean, to me, running him safe lane farm against what is, I would imagine, is going to be a solo lane Clockwork would be more optimal. But I really like this, and it addresses the big concern that I had, which was coming into this game, were they going to have enough damage to avoid being in a situation they were in game number 2? And I feel like, you know, just looking at this just feels so much more well-rounded to me.
Yes, I agree. I do really like their lineup. They're gonna have the Gyro short, which is pretty much gonna enjoy destroying Clockwork. They're gonna have Darkseer middle, which against Mac, they're both gonna get farm, nothing too special. And the tri lane is gonna be the most interesting lane to see because it could go either way still. Sure, Undying and Rubik and Luna is pretty strong on paper, but PL, Jakiro and Shadow Demon can still do a lot. So it's gonna be interesting to see how it goes. Let's see if they get the wards out already and be able to block. Are there any sentries? Yeah, they do have sentries on pass, so it's gonna come down a lot to this pool actually.
Gotta be careful. This is a very strong level 1 team from Dignitas. Very, very strong. Just because of Telekinesis, if nothing else. Telekinesis and Lunar Blessing makes it strong, just those two abilities. And we do see they are going to fall back, so one ward does go down. That'll be peace out to that camp. But, yeah, I mean, with these three down here, this is exactly what I predicted. And I think this is really the best way to play this out. I mean, Darkseer is going to get the levels he needs. He's not going to be in a situation where he's under-leveled. Universe is going to be able to farm the Gyro just fine. And honestly, in this tri-lane, Owie should do just fine. I mean, the kill potential is so heavy, especially once Way 2 gets 1 or 2 points into his tombstone. It's going to be impossible for them to engage him when Rubik can telekinesis you towards the enemy, pull a hero in, the tombstone goes down, and you have to walk back past the tombstone to get to safety.
Yeah, definitely. The most interesting thing for me to see right now is if they actually get to de-ward the ward that they blocked with, plus the Ruin ward placed by Dignitas. They saw that happening, so they can de-ward that at any time. But they only have 2. So it's gonna be interesting because it does come down a lot too when you play on that lane. If you can get the pull, because your supporters are gonna get more levels, you can get more control. So it's a huge deal. But right now, as you can see, PL is standing far away while Luna is just gonna free farm for now. And the first sentry placed down is not gonna find it. Let's see if where they place the other one.
Very good placement there. Yeah, they're eating through the tree, so this is a lot of time being wasted. And Black having the
there you go.
live between the creeps. Not getting as far, and they do manage to bring down the sentry, so that'll help some. But as it stands, Dignitas, they're going to go and telekinesis Black. He's going to be brought in, and he's forced to spin Doppelwalk, eats into his mana just a little bit. Taking a look at our other lineups, and I will run through our full lineups in just a moment. Universe versus Clock, as anticipated. That's going to be pretty tough for Clock, I would say. I mean, Universe just being able to spam Flat Cannon in and of itself going to be tough to deal with. But you also can't get too cute and rely on your cogs, because if you end up cogging yourself in, he's just going to use Rocket Barrage and your health's going to melt.
Oh yeah, right now he's doing fairly well on the Clockwork actually. If you can see, he has 6 assets, 2 denies, going up against 6 and 0 right now. So well played by him. Pulls happening bottom. Middle, they're both going to get farm. I assume, so it's nothing too special. But yeah, so far Clockwork has been doing a good job, and as we saw last game, he's a very good Clockwork player.
Yep.
Excuse me for not being able to pronounce his name probably that well.
Qualifier. Yep.
Not too shabby.
Exactly. It's a lot easier than I thought it was. I was all bending my tongue trying to get it out. But nope, Qualifier apparently is a close enough approximation that I don't offend too many people with the uncultured American tongue. But this tri-lane, of course, is where all the action's going to be taking place. And we can see Black now beginning to get himself some farm. He's trailing Luna, but they are pretty close to even.
Yeah, the Luna's still gonna get ahead, I assume. They did block the pull again with a sentry now. And I'm actually not sure if it's in range. It might not be, which is very smart by Dignitas. I like this choice. Now they're forced to stay all on lane, and PL is not gonna get too much. And oh, they're gonna make a go with all the creeps.
There's the Ice Path, gonna catch Fog. Fog looking to get to safety. He will not be able to make it away. And now Way 2's in trouble, actually. They can pursue this out if they want. Spirit Lance is up. I'm really surprised he didn't just toss a Lance there. He tosses a Lance, they might have gotten another kill. The immediate TP back. But Mouz quick to put First Blood on the board. Now, this is a situation that you really can't be in if you're Dignitas. Giving up First Blood is not the end of the world, but that means they have no room for error in this tri-lane. You've got yourself a good draft. I really like their lanes, but you can't risk getting too far behind. Not having Tombstone there absolutely killed them.
Yeah, the big problem there was really the misposition, excuse me. As you can saw, like they had pretty much like 2.5 creep waves on the side of Mouz and none on the other side. So as soon as they went, they had a huge creep advantage pretty much, and that's why he died. So it's really well played by Mouz, and a bit of a mistake coming out of Fogged, and I'm sure he knows that. So hopefully that doesn't happen again, because on paper I would say they should win this tri lane right now.
Completely agree with you. We can see Gyro's actually not doing as well as I would have thought he would either. He's sitting at 17, and as you mentioned, Clock's doing remarkably well. I mean, I'm not sure what the problem is, but I mean, and this should get a little bit worse, but he is opting to max his rocket barrage above Flat Cannon as well, so that might have something to do with it, and Way2 just going to face tank his way around the corner there, but not going to be engaged upon.
Yeah, he's playing really well on top. I gotta agree. Oh, there's might be action bottom.
And Black engaged upon. There's a disruption. Doppelwalk will be enough to get him away, so Owie taken out of that fight. The strength of the defensive capabilities of Shadow Demon showing themselves right there. But they, again, that's still a win for Dignitas. They did a lot of damage to PL. He's forced to back off. That's more time he's not spending getting last hits. But, the way Owie builds this Luna is going to be a big point of interest for me. We can see Poss now taking a little bit of harassment and being forced back up under the tower. And it looks like, unfortunately, I may have lost Fly once again. We'll look to get him back on as soon as we possibly can. Up atop, Qualifier continues to just play well, man. And Qualifier, hold on. Never mind. I thought we were going to have a dive down here. But Qualifier had a phenomenal game, too. It was really on his back that they were able to win as handily as they did. Now, Poss going to be cleaned up. The strength of that we saw now. And Alex giving the loop-to-loop. Fog looks to be traded for both of them. The tombstone is down. And Black's eating a lot of damage. Good soul rip. Kept him alive just long enough. And now Alex caught out in no man's land on the wrong side of the battle. And he's going to end up being traded away as well. So he drops. And make it 2-1 now. Dignitas taking the lead. And this is the power of that tri-lane. Again, having the tombstone making all the difference in the world there. Absolutely, all the difference in the world. So now, this tri-lane very much in their control. I haven't talked a whole lot about the mid matchup. Mag sitting at 29 last hits. And it looks like Fly has returned, so I'll be looking to hook him back up in just a moment. But this mid matchup between Darkseer and the Mag. Darkseer sitting atop our CS board. He's sitting at 38. 30 for the Mag, so both getting their levels, both getting their farm. But now with Black beginning to suffer heavily, being doubled up in CS by Luna. And go ahead and take this opportunity to bring our good friend Fly back on to the cast. Maybe not. We'll see.
Sorry about that.
There's the man. Not a problem, my friend. These things happen. Happy to have you back, but yeah. Battle broke out, and Dignitas came out ahead.
Yeah, I'm just now looking. Wow, was that on the tri-lane?
Yep,
yes,
it was.
So.
They managed to kill off the Jakiro as well as the Shadow Demon.
Wow, I'm still amazed at the top lane. Just look at the last hits. He's doing so good.
Yep, totally agree. And I'll tell you what, man, Qualifier was, you can't put a loss or a win on any one person's shoulders, but Qualifier sure as hell had a whole lot to do with Mouz getting into the position they were in game number 2, and he is playing well already. And I haven't seen Qualifier play a whole lot of Clock, to be honest. I've gotten to cast Mouz a few times since he was added, but for the most part, I've seen him on heroes like Furion. But seems to me like he may have found a nice hero to make his full-time role.
Oh yeah, he's doing so well. Middle looks like he will be rushing the mech on Darkseer. Oh.
Headdress up already. And on the Mag, he's got his arc boots up, so he's not hurting for gold either. Most likely going to begin that long, long road towards the Blink Dagger. We got 3 kills on the board just in 8 minutes. And obviously this tri-lane going very, very well for Dignitas. The farm 35-21 with Luna leading pretty handily right now. If you're in the shoes of Mouz, what's your thought process right now, Fly? Tell me what's going through your mind and what is going to be your next goal as we approach the 10-minute mark.
And to me, it's that whether they're going to try to shut down the Gyro or the tri-lane. Because the Clockwork could rotate bottom and try to get kills off, or the Mag could rotate top and try to get kills on top. So I'm curious to see which one they will choose, if any. Because I do think they have to make something happen. They either have to kill the Gyro or the tri-lane. Middle is not that much of a problem. Of course, the Darkseer is going to get farmed, and he's very hard to take down. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do right now. I would probably go towards the tri-lane. But oh, big skewer middle.
RP gonna be Smith, sneaking caught out, and Qualifier there, using the rocket flare to help secure the kill along with Magnus Ofeta. And honestly, that's not something that should have been allowed to happen. If you're a Darkseer, you should be able to freely get experience of gold. Now we're gonna have an engagement on bottom. Ice Path's gonna come up just short, and Way2 makes it away with the icicles nipping at his heels. So 2-2 though, following the death of Darkseer. Big win there for Mag.
Oh yeah. Just as I say, they should do something. The other 2 lanes, they decide to go middle. So, obviously, I was wrong. But still a good kill nonetheless. I would like them to see it shutting down the carries more than the middle. But, of course, it's a good thing. No doubt.
TP
and
up the top.
There will be a TP top.
Universe, forced back. Qualifier has hook. He's going to hit it. Cogs go down, and there's Magnus. That is a super dead Universe. And they're going to eat a little bit of damage from the call down, but as it stands, another engagement down at bottom. We're going to see the Shadow Demon picked off. Going blow for blow, a slugfest breaking out everywhere on the map. Alex taking damage, they're going to dive it. Owie's right there. Owie is not even close to level 6, so not going to have eclipsed anytime soon. They do manage to clean one up. Now the telekinesis is going to catch Black. We're going to see one picked off in the jungle. Black going to topple walk his way to safety. Way2 will die. And it looks like once again, lost our buddy. Make it 4 for 4 now, as Dignitas now in great position. Black just to the south of the tower. Looks like they want to cut the creeps, but help's on the way. Pos and Qualifier making their way back to the lane. And Universe making his way back as well. What was a quiet game for a while, not quiet anymore. 8 kills on the board, 10 minutes in, and we're beginning to see a lot more emphasis be placed onto this bottom lane. Looks like Fly has reconnected to the game, so I'll hook him back up on the call in just a moment. For now, though, Dignitas and Mouz just going blow for blow. So we roll past 10 minutes, we can see by the gold graph, pretty even slugfest on the kill scoreboard as well as on the gold. And the experience, though, going the way of Mouz at least a little bit. Being able to kill off the Darkseer, very, very high value, of course. But for now, both teams seem to be stabilizing just a little bit. So taking a look at Mouz and where they are, at the very least, Black is having some time to play catch-up. He's closed that gap on Luna quite effectively, and now we're going to have an engagement at top as Universe is going to be skewered back again. And Universe is giving up some kills he can't afford to give up. That's a solo safe lane farmer. That's a solo safe lane carry. The whole point of that is for you to just be able to hold your own, be careful, get your farm, and soak up solo experience. And given that Owie's now been forced out of lane, he's having to make the long trek to top. And I should be able to get Fly back in right now. Give it one more shot. And hopefully you're now back. Welcome back.
I'm so sorry. I'm not at home. The Talon internet is not that great. I'm really sorry about it.
It's not a problem, man.
Not much I can do, but
we got it under control. More kills on the board, though, and we saw Gyrocopter die once again, so Universe definitely having his struggles.
Oh yeah, so they did decide to focus on him, which I definitely like it. Such an easy kill. And they did decide to rotate the Luna top now and have the Gyro bottom, which is an interesting choice. There's so many wards from the Dire side in the Radiant jungle, but they have a pretty good idea of what's going on. There's actually only one Radiant ward so far. Just curious to see it. Let's see, the mech is going to be soon completed on Darkseer. Still nothing too new, but yeah, I think Mouz is playing pretty well so far. PL is starting to get his farm up, he should have his drums now. And wow, a blink on Mag, that's really early.
Mag just played well. I mean, Feta, a big part of their win in game number 2, and continuing to look very good. He's second on the CS board right now. He's actually ahead of the PL and the Luna. Gyro is right in that same range. But, I mean, these lanes just have not worked out as well as I would have thought they would for Dignitas. They rolled the dice and took their chances, but now with sneaking, dipping into the jungle, that mech will be done in about 700 gold. We're beginning to see just a standoff take place down here. Luna's playing ultra cautious, as she should. And, you know, this is a little chancy to me. I mean, rotating the Gyro down here, he's going to be able to do damage. He's got maxed out Rocket Barrage, so you don't want to find yourself isolated against him. But PL is honestly in much better shape than I think he has any business being in.
Yeah, I definitely agree. The top lane went completely different than what I would have thought. And Fata's going to try to go in the middle now.
Way two, drew up, good hook. He dropped down the tombstone. Cox is going to go down. There's a vacuum on the Fata. He's got skewer in 20 seconds, so if he's going to get away, he's going to have to get away another way. There's an ice path to help bail him out. Here comes the rest of Dignitas looking to chase them down. Alex makes it to the high ground as well. Homing missile will connect on the mag, but no way to follow it up. So another free kill going the way of Mouz Sports. And honestly, I really like the way they're playing. Dignitas just feels as if they kind of had the wind knocked out of them. Now an engagement on the sneaking. Good skewer up to the high ground. And he does have a path out if he wants. He is very low. RP going to be spit as well as a disruption. So a little bit of overkill there. Looks like he should be able to make it away. Alex being pursued out by Universe. He's looking for safety under the tier 2. The rest of Dignitas making their way up. There's Alex going to eat the homing missile and killed off by Call Down with Rocket Barrage. Fight rages on the steps still yet. And Mouz going 1 for 1 so far. Looks like Black should be able to make it away. Poss now the target, homing missile. Going to pursue him back behind the tower, but Dignitas not going to chase him too much further.
Yeah, overall an okay exchange. The Peel did get a kill, which is always nice. Luna's farming top. I'm curious to see what's gonna happen once Darkseer gets the mech, because that's when I think they should start to group up and push together. But since the mag does have such an early blink, it's really scary. The Clockwork has been having a pretty good game as well. So yeah, this game is still could go in any way, but I do think Mouz have a bit of an advantage right now.
Very back and forth and relatively even slugfest. Nice change of pace from the two Raffle stomps we saw in game 1 and 2. Both teams playing well. Yeah, you check the goal graph, it's damn near 0. The experience is slightly in favor of Mouz. And here comes Qualifier. He's got a hook if he wants it. And he's going to go ahead and use it on Universe. Decides not to drop the cogs now. Re-engagement out of sneaking. Here we go. Good skewer. Catches 2. Brings him right into the cogs. Fata landing it when he needed it the most. Disruption catches 1. Fogged hanging around, as is Luna. Now we're going to see the surge from Darkseer get him to safety. Ice path follow up on Fogged, and now Luna popping the Eclipse. That's going to be enough to at least kill 1 off. Fogged still in trouble. He's cleaned up by PL. Black going toe for toe, or toe to toe with the Luna. He is going to end up dying. And that's going to be basically another break-even trade here. And sneaking's not done, though. Alex YOLOing it. He's got 25 hit points. Rocket is going to be there, but if he gets caught at all, and he does by a vacuum, sneaking adds another kill to his total. They do manage to take down the tier 1 as well. So Dignitas closing the gap pretty admirably.
Yeah, that was nice. I mean, it started off with a great skewer by Fata, really nicely done. And then I think they just overcommitted. They could have sat back. They didn't have RP up at that moment, so they shouldn't have forced anything. But nice turnaround by Aoi coming in with the ulti. And overall, of course, a better exchange for Dignitas. They did get the tower and 3 kills, plus PL went down. So, well played by both teams. But, of course, Dignitas did come ahead. And this is what they need to do. They need to take the engagements now. And, you know, try to make sure PO doesn't get out of control, even that they have great lane here. And now they get the top tower as well.
We're going to see Fata with a haste through, pursuing way 2 out. Throws out the shockwave. There's the blink and the skewer. Way 2. Managed to kill the tower. Looks like it's going to cost him his life, though, and it does. So, in the meantime, Black continues to just farm and farm away. We'll switch to our net worth graph, see where things stand. Top 2 on the board, Luna and Darkseer right behind them. Are 3 from Mouz, though. This time, though, Dignitas not going to waste any time. I love this decision. Anytime you have a gyrocopter, you can take an early Roche. No reason not to give it a shot, especially once you have a mech up.
Oh yeah, once again they're doing this, and this is pretty big. After that, they can take the ancient stack unless they want to stack it some more. You're going to gain a pretty good advantage from this one. I really like this decision. They might have to forfeit the top tower, but we'll see if they actually choose to push, because they have no clue what's going on, actually. Not even a rocket that's been flying.
Roche drops 3 Aegis going into the inventory of Universe. He is going to be completing his drums at about 400 gold, so even though he is playing from behind, and when I say behind, he is quite low. He is the lowest actual farmer on the board. He's actually below the Clockwork. Black's in good shape, but not nearly as good a shape as he was in game number 1. And, you know, so far, like you said, man, this is a slugfest. This could go absolutely either way. At this point, though, we're at 18 minutes, 15 seconds, give or take. Which team, I mean, I can bring up the gold graph and say, yeah, 3,000 gold in favor of Dignitas, the experience slightly in favor of Mouz. But aside, all that aside, I mean, just looking at how this game is likely to play out, who do you give the advantage to right now?
I still think Mouz is in pretty good shape to take this. Just the mag and clockwork initiation is just crazy. It's really strong. If it drags into really late game, I think Dignitas do have a chance. Gyro and Luna are very scary. But I think like the mid game should go to Mouz's way. But the early game right now, sort of the Dignitas can still take this with the early mech. I don't think they have a mech on the side of Mouz, so they could actually take the fight right now with the Aegis especially. So I think that's what they should be looking to do, try to force some fights.
They trailed by a few kills, but as you said, I mean, having the Aegis, having the team that they do, and level 12 on Darkseer, he's got 1 point into his wall. We'll see if and when he wants to place his second one. Universe did complete those drums. He has an Aqualay as well, but now we're beginning to see some movement down towards mid. And we'll see if there's going to be an engagement. I mean, right now would be a great time. And this is just one of those things you got to worry about. I mean, having the quick blink dagger up on Feta and the reach of Clockwork, even doing what they were just doing, sitting here and farming on the enemy side of the river, very chancy.
Oh yeah, I'm interested again by the same pickup as last game from Clockwork. He did decide to go for the Force Staff over the mech, which might not give them as much teamfight early on, but it is, of course, a very good item in itself. It's always a good item. So I would have maybe liked the mech so they can take more early fights, but they can still pull it off with a blink on mag. You can turn around any fight, pretty much.
Universe getting a decent amount of farm down here. Black giving him the evil eye. We'll go ahead and move forward and take farm of his own. And we'll see how he wants to play this. I mean, right now, Universe is just fine. Doesn't even care to fight, it seems. Just using the Aegis more as a safety belt while his 3 supports, Fogged, Sneaking, and Way 2, set up shop and free the rest of the map up for Owie and for himself to just farm away. 20 minutes in, the gold graph continues to be in favor of Dignitas, 4,000, but that experience graph is beginning to slide downwards. So Mouz, even though, as you said, and I agree, they're in pretty good shape, I don't know that sitting back right now is going to be the right call.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It could go either way in farm, really. Owie did decide to go for Yasha over Dominator, so I think one of those two should pick it up. Either the Gyrocopter or the Luna should go for the lifesteal. But yeah, it looks like he might go into... Either he goes for a BKB now or completes the Manta. I'm still not sure what he decides to go for. Gyro's just being annoying bottom lane. And they might try to go middle now with a smoke.
Smoke there, and potential gank from Qualifier, who now has a haste rune. We can see Dignitas slowly making their way along the ridgeline, trying to make sure that they're not spotted or the smoke popped. And this could be ugly. And there's Feta. There goes the Eclipse. They're going to be able to do some damage, but honestly, that didn't go well at all. And, I mean, getting Alex is nice, but not the best executor in the world. Poss is now possibly in no man's land. And here we go. There's Feta. Gonna miss with the skewer. Way too sidestepped. And now down goes the tombstone. Cogs are down as well. Call down gonna do some damage. In the meantime, Telekinesis gonna catch Feta. Brings him back. What did he get? Managed to still shockwave. Now, the wall down. And they lost the mag as well. So Dignitas, in what wasn't the best executed gank I've ever seen, they got one, though, and managed to follow it up with another. And with the tombstone down, they should be free to push off of this, so long as they're careful about it.
Big win by Dignitas. The peel even rotated here. Oh wow, they still might go in. Oh, just harassing.
Damage done.
They get a tower, the mag, the Jakiro, and the peel was forced to the middle lane, so he's not pushing bottom.
Right.
He does have his diffusal completed, so he's farming quite well. But yeah, that was a big win for Dignitas, and they didn't even lose the Aegis.
As you had mentioned, Yasha is done on Owie. He's going to have enough to pick up his ultimate orb on his way to a Manta style very soon. And, you know, a nice approach. You know, whenever you talk about ways to build a Luna, most times people say, oh, you go to the Jackie Chan build, you know, get up your drums, your boots, your drums, go for BKB, so on and so forth. Very typical stuff. And then you have players like Owie who sometimes like to just rush a Shadow Blade just to have that much more mid-game punch, but just rushing a Manta gives you a little bit of the best of both worlds. Gives you some survivability, gives you some move speed, gives you some damage, so on and so forth. And now it looks like Sneaking's actually going to spot someone out. He's under the cover of an invis, so he's got an eye on what's going on. And Universe sitting way up front, and the hook's actually going to miss, but it caught Owie anyway! That was aimed at Universe! Went through and caught someone else. Owie taking a lot of damage. Now the counter engagement's there. We're going to see mechs go off on both sides, and Dignitas looks to re-engage. Aegis is going to be popped off of the gyro. Black's going to be in trouble. He will be cleaned up by a shockwave. Stolen by Rubik. That's one of those moments. As soon as this is over, RP's going to be there to catch 2. Do they have the damage, though? Darkseer drops the wall. We're going to see a buyback and a TP in from the Jakiro. Mag's now in trouble. Theta will drop. We're going to see him traded off as Qualifier has to run for the well. He's down the next to no health. But yeah, at this point, if you're that Clockwork, what you do is go in all chat and you just type one word, skill. Because that hook was not meant to hit Luna. No way.
That fight was actually much closer than I thought it would be. They did try to force a fight with the Aegis still up, and they did manage to do it, which was nice. They did get a mid tower, and they didn't lose the bottom tower on the side of Mouz, but they did lose the peel and the mag just for a Luna and a Darkseer. So of course, exchange wasn't too bad. Jakiro bought back as well, so it's fairly even. But I think Dignitas will be happy with this. They get the peel, they use the Aegis, and yeah, they're just gonna continue to pressure soon. I'm still curious to see what Aoi decides to buy, whether he completes the Manta or decides to go for something else. Because they do have a lot of AoE on the side of Mouz. Manta might not be the best choice,
right?
But it is good for pushing, of course.
Following that engagement, we can see the gold continues to be in favor of Dignitas. In fact, going their way a little bit more. We're gonna have a gank down here as we see Alex telekinesed out. And eats a Lucid Beam. See you in the well. Two-headed dragon. Twin-headed dragon. Twin-head dragon, I think is actually what it is, isn't it? Gotta make sure I get it right.
Just call him Jacques.
Yeah, there you go. But I get griped at. For a while I called him two-headed dragon. They're like, no, it's twin-headed dragon. And I actually think it's twin-head dragon. So if we're gonna get it right, we're gonna get it right here on one more game. TV2, 25 minutes in, Dignitas and Mouz in a slugfest here in game number 3. I'm AC, joined by Fnatic's own Fly, the co-broadcaster of the day. And looks like they're gonna get a tier 2, but they may try to trade it here in mid.
Oh yeah, look, Sneaking went back to defense, so they should be able to... Actually, they might actually be able to defend the bottom tower now. Seeing that the Darkseer's not there, but nope, they're gonna drop this tower. So, they get a tower for nothing. They got some damage on the middle tower, but yeah, good exchange for Dignitas once again. They're just doing what they should. They're trying to get as much pressure as they can with the early mech and the early Aegis. So, and they do have a mech on the mech now, actually. I did not see that before. But yeah, smoke up on the Dignitas side. Let's see if they can catch anyone on the middle lane now.
This is prototypical Dignitas. Take an objective, smoke, and go again. They love to pour it on. They're going to find a pause. And Fogged doing work. Telekinesis, Ice Path, plus a little dose of the old Fable. Ice Path, arguably one of the best spells you can possibly get if you're in Rubik's shoes. I mean, honestly, having Ice Path is better than having most ultimates in the game, to be honest, if you're Rubik. Just because of how easily and quickly you can spam it, and what a difference it allows you to make when put in conjunction with a Telekinesis. But Qualifier is, yeah, I'm gonna guess he must be lagging out, because he's just standing there in no man's land. He has to know people are on the way.
Yeah, looks like it. So definitely unfortunate time to DC, that's for sure. And yeah, Ice Path is one of the better spells you can get, that's for sure. One thing, they did decide to go for the Manta on Luna, which is definitely a good choice. Nothing wrong with that. One thing I wanted to point out is the skill build on Rubik. Sometimes I feel like getting the null field, the passive, is better than maxing the stun. You can leave the stun at maybe 2 or 3.
Yep.
And maybe get the shield over it, the null field. I like to do that, especially considering the amount of AoE they have on the other team. So yeah, one thing to look at.
Looks like we're ready to get going. Qualifier may have the damage done already, though. He's going to have to hook and hook quickly if he wants to get out of here. And he's going to force staff in, drop the cogs. Looks like he's just going to try to TP away. He is surrounded by enemies. He's going to be vacuumed right into an Ice Path coming from Fogged. And this is when playing Rubik's fun. You get that hold of a high-value skill like that, and, you know, there's nothing that can be done about that. You know, it's unfortunate he got hit with lag when he did, but Dignitas getting a pretty high-priority kill given how good of a game he had been having, and that gold graph just continues to turn southward.
Oh yeah, that was actually the first death on Clockwork this game, so yeah, he's been playing great once again as last game. PL is going to continue to pressure middle. The middle tower did get denied by Aoi, so that's one good thing going their way as well. And they're going to look to push this top tower now. We'll see if there's going to be any defense, but with Clockwork being down, I can see them getting this for free, and Mouz just trying to trade for the bottom tower, which they might not even get.
Well, now that we've got a BKB on Universe and Aoi has up the Manta, honestly, it may be too late. There comes a point when you have a lineup with 2 carries like this, when you hit a point of critical mass, where if you get far enough ahead, your supports get far enough ahead, you have up 1 or 2 core items before the enemy team does. I mean, Diffusal is done on Black in fairness, but the best heroes in the entire game that deal with a Phantom Lancer. They've got the Glaives, they've got Flat Cannon, and they've got Rubik to reduce damage. So, you know, at this point, Mouz is going to make something happen soon. And it's almost exactly the concept that we talked about in Game 2, where sometimes you're behind and you don't feel comfortable taking fights, but just because of how far behind you are, you have to make a fight happen and you have to win it.
Yeah, you haven't really seen any smokes coming out or anything. It is hard when they are grouping up so much on the Dignitas side, but right now you can see they're split. And what Mouz is trying to do is basically just split push them with the peel, let him get really fat. He went for the Yasha once again, same build as last time. So now he's probably going to finish the Manta into hard if he gets to. Of course though, this game is by no means over, because with a Mag and a Clockwork and a peel, you're always going to be able to win. So yeah, it's right now Dignitas are in pretty good control. They're leading towers, they're gonna get the next Roche now, unless Mouz decides to do something about it, but they might just try to trade for towers again, which may be a mistake though. Because I do feel like if they take a Roche fight, they have a chance of a good RP.
Roche the target, we see everyone moving in. There is vision here. I'm not sure that they caught anything with it, but at the very least, they have to have suspicions as to what's going on. Black is finding his farm, but again, not in nearly as good a shape as he was in comparison to Game 2. Roche will be completed with 0 contesting. And with Mag picking up Mech, very much needed item for his team. I'm just really worried right now. Black is going to have to do work, basically.
Oh yeah, and actually, funny thing is to point out is that Aoi did deny the top tower with the Manta illusions, I believe. Was well played by him. So another good thing going their way while getting Roche. They didn't even give that much gold away. But yeah, I can see why Mouz didn't decide to contest. They knew it was happening, but it's still scary to go into so much AoE, like Gyro, Luna, and Darkseer, you know, in such an open area. Plus Tombstone even, it's like they have to get a perfect RP, else they're just gonna get destroyed. So it's okay, the decision is fine. I would have liked him to see to get the bottom tower as well for it, but yeah, they were afraid because it's so close to the Roche pit. So actually smoked by Mouz now. Let's see if they try to make something happen. They do not have the PL with them though.
And Black doing what Black does, farming like a mouse. They're going to be looking for a target, maybe to try and take a free tier 1 in bottom. We can see Dignitas playing very close to the breast here, sucked up in the range of where their tier 2 once stood. Looking at the net worth, we can see 3 of the top 4 all belong to Dignitas right now. Actually, the top 3 belong to Dignitas. And Black's in range, but, I mean, whenever you have a PL who is farming fairly well, but there are 2 other carries on the enemy team that are ahead of you, it's just problematic, and it comes back to what I was talking about. It's not just the fact that it's 2 carries, it's 2 that deal extremely well with a PL at all phases of the game. And we're now at 31 minutes, and Aoi, as well as Universe, are beginning to feel very, very fat. They're going to be able to deny this tower even if they want to, and yeah, that's what they're going to do. Universe picks up a Demon Edge, so he's beginning to build damage now.
Oh yeah, and the Butterfly being built on the Aoi, and that's a 3rd tower deny, I believe, so it's a lot of gold, basically, that Mouz is losing. So Dignitas is just in really good control right now. The only problem, of course, is PL split pushing, but the way this is going, their carries are going to be so farmed that it's not going to matter too much without a perfect RP. And actually they're going to go on Phantom middle, but they're not going to get it.
There's Ice Path coming from the originator. Fog did manage to get Shockwave. And wow, way too just going for it. We're going to see a skewer of Universe, of sneaking up to the high ground. Now he's going to be vacuumed back. Alex throws out another Ice Path. And he's going to continue to try to pursue this out. Mag able to blink back to the appropriate place. And yeah, this is kind of what you expect to see. Now Dignitas feeling like they're in control. They're, you know, why not try to choke them? You know, Black looks like he's going to do his thing up here. They need to decide one way or the other. They're going to try to kill Black or they're going to push. Looks like they're going to try to kill Black.
Yeah, one thing I like to do in this case is to ward, I don't know if you can actually see drawings, but the top dire jungle, like the top left, you get a ward out there because usually that's where he would farm. So you can see him. Of course, PL is a little difficult because the illusions can farm on their own.
Yep.
But that's one way to deal with it. Another way to deal with it is getting Boots of Travel on one of your carries or the Darkseer, so you could always farm top lane and then join your team. So that's something I would like them to see them doing. They do have the ward spawning out anyone coming to the top lane.
Yep.
But yeah, the PL is just going to continue to split push, and you can see where he is right now. They're going to try to catch him out.
And they've spotted him. Just a matter of making sure they get the real one. Yep, he's going to go ahead and use Doppelwalk. And they're not going to pursue it too hard. But I mean, it is still a Phantom Lancer, and you know, as good as Gyro and Luna deal with him, just because it is a PL and the fact that he now has a Manta to go with his Diffusal, he'll be looking to probably tank him now with a Heart or something similar. I mean, it's still not super comfortable for Dignitas, I don't think. I mean, we look at the gold graph, we can see it's leveled off just south of 10,000 gold, 10,000 experience, roughly the gap as well. But if they can catch him here, now this could be bad. Black being pursued, and they do manage to vacuum him back. Now he's going to go ahead and try to get away. He's going to have to walk through a call down to do it. He gets out of vision range, though, of the sentry ward that was dropped. So Black able to walk through raindrops and survive there.
Yeah, I do like the decision, though, to try and pressure him out of the lane, but they are going to back off right now. And meanwhile, the mag is just going to push bottom. So yeah, Mouz is just trying to split push them, like as I like to call it, the rat dodo. But yeah, it's going fine for them so far. That they're not gonna siege the base anytime soon, Dignitas that is. So I'm curious to see what their decision is gonna be, because they do want to make something happen right now.
The Aegis is gonna be down in about 60 seconds, so if they want to get anything out of that, they're gonna need to do it very, very soon. For now, though, continuing to just kind of play cat and mouse. And Owie's still quite a piece away. Well, unless he's got it on there. What's he got on the courier? Never mind. I was going to say he's quite a piece away from his butterfly, but instead 2/3 of it sitting on the courier, 1/3 of it in his inventory. So butterfly now going to be done, and they may just try to turtle out another Roche here and try to force a fight that way.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised actually, because they do have the Luna and the Gyrocopter. It's not like they're in a big rush to finish this game. They have a very strong late game. So I'm okay with their decision to just chill and farm some more. They might indeed wait for the next Roche, as you pointed out, and then try to finish. But with the split push being happening, it's very annoying to push against. So I would like to see, once again, as I said, the Boots of Travel on one of them.
MKB, a very important item for sieging the base for Dignitas as well. Getting that up on the Gyro, allowing him to sit on the low ground and peck away at the tower if needs be. To say nothing of just how unbelievably obnoxious it is to be a support on the side of Mouz when he's hitting for 250, 300 damage a shot, and you're taking it right in the face from 1,000 range away. But for now, sneaking, quite full. He's got himself up and a Scepter as well as a mech. He's got a Hood of Defiance, so Pipe. And, you know, that's another extremely important item for cracking the base, especially against a team like Mouz with as much spammability as they have. Just having a Pipe pretty much essential if Dignitas is going to try to crack the base.
Yeah, I wonder if he will finish it or not. It would be a good choice. As you said, it's good for pushing the base. But yeah, right now it's just a game of farm, pretty much. Both teams happy farming. They're going to wait for the next rush, which they should be able to get uncontested. So they're going to wait for that. We'll see what Aoi decides to go for next. He might go for the... Oh wait, okay, that was ruined. Sorry. He might try to go for lifesteal, which would be a fine choice, I would say. Another choice is that he could also go for the MKB.
Right.
Because I do believe Black would want to go for the butterfly, but he might think twice now.
I was thinking the same thing, actually. I mean, depending on what he wants to do. Very typical item, especially given the amount of physical damage he's going to have to cope with. We are going to see a smoke out of Dignitas, so they may have a chance to catch this mag. Yep, there's a Surge, and Fogged with the Blink Dagger. Telekinesis him back. Here comes Gyro. There's the follow-up. And he's going to try and skewer himself to safety. Going to try to get away. Not going to have a chance, though. And Fogged adds another kill to his total. We can see it's actually not what I wanted to check. That's what I wanted to check. He does have buyback, and he might be forced to use it. And that's just, you know, this is one of those times where it's just so unfortunate to die there in that situation, because the creep wave is right there with them. You don't want to buy back at this stage. As you said, it's become a game of farm now. Koikfa's going to be telekinesis. He's going to eat a lot of damage. They might get him. He pops the blade mail, and he will barely make it away. Just barely. However, he has to go heal before he can re-engage. And that's going to give them plenty of time to siege this tower. Universe was disrupted, but this tier 3 in some real danger right now. Mag still has not bought back. Macropyre even thrown down just to try and make this more difficult. They're going to get to tier 3 for sure, and they might just sell out. We're going to find out. And the flat cannon, just look at Poss. Poss killed by nothing but flat cannon. He was nowhere near that fight. 2 buybacks coming out simultaneously. In the mag and the Shadow Demon. There's a hook that's not going to connect. It actually hit the illusion and the BKB's pop. They want to re-engage. RP's there. Did he get it? I think he did. He did. He spit it. Got 2. They're going to follow it up. And this might be the end for Mouz. Beautiful play from the Rubik. Fogged has played phenomenal Dota all game and made it look easy there. The fight's going to continue to rage in the shadow of the once complete racks, the once still standing racks, but the rest of Mouz hit scrambling for the well. And Black doing what he can, going to re-engage on the Universe, and the Universe doesn't care. The work's been done. Racks down. There's 2 down on the side of Mouz, and what's important, Mag bought back. It died, bought back, and died again, and spin RP. So the Roche fight that's going to be imminent. Yep, coming up in 60 seconds. He's not going to be the best of shape for it, but Dignitas should be able to contest it. They're going to be respawning just about the time the big guy does.
Oh yeah, that was huge for Dignitas. Huge win, and that might even cost the game for Mouz. The Black was just pushing top, and Way Too Sexy was there defending with Undying. And I think Black could have just continued to push top instead of trying to defend, because the Mag just waited with his buyback. I think what they should have done is have the Mag buyback instantly, try to depush bottom while Black pressures top, and force them back, basically. But they did decide to take the fight with Black TPing back, and they lost it 4v5. The RP, of course, only hit the gyro, which was not optimal, but yeah, it was well executed by Dignitas. Very nice RP stolen by Fog, really well played, caught 2. And yeah, they basically turned the fight around very easily.
Fog has played an excellent Rubik today. He has just been on point with everything he's done. And that...
Oh yeah, and he still has RP, by the way.
Yep, exactly.
And Blink.
Yep, and he has Blink as well.
Scary.
Good point. We're 40 minutes in. Dignitas extends their lead in a very visceral way by bringing down the barracks, but at the same time, gold and experience, a nice way to demonstrate it too. In excess of 12,000 gold, experience at 14. And they're going to try to make something happen by rushing in here. Way Too might get blown up. He goes ulti and should end up dropping pretty easily. Ghost Scepter bought him some time, but not enough. The rest of his team, in the meantime, is just going to go ahead and take Roshan, actually.
Yeah, there's no TP on the Luna, and there's no TP on the Rubik. Oh gosh, they have to get back right now. Dark's no TP as well.
This is just going to be a free rack, so they get the Aegis. But a very costly Aegis. They did glyph it, but no way with that. Oh, wow! Fogged! Got everything, hit everyone! Illusions, heroes, everything at once! Pulled off of that barracks. And what did he steal? He got Ice Path that time. Fogged, are you kidding me? You monster! Gonna clean up a couple of more while he's at it. And Dignitas, who looked to have been caught napping, bailed out by the little guy in green. Pursuing Mouz back out of the well, and Quite Fun now going to be spotted out. He got the cogs down, but Fog leading the charge there as well. Give him a kill! Are you kidding me? Fogged, putting on one of the more impressive individual performances I've ever seen on a Rubik.
Wow.
Yeah, what else
so
is
that was crazy. That Fog just completely won that fight. No doubt about it. He caught 3 of them, all the illusions, got the stun off, and that was just gave them enough time for the carries to come in and clean everyone. And now Black purchased the butterfly, but there is the MKB on the gyro, as we said. And yeah, that was just really well executed. And yeah, they're gonna continue to push, and at this point it's gonna be so hard to stop them. There's the Aegis on Aoi and the Cheese on Universe, and yeah, this game, yeah.
41 minutes in, and time looking to be drawing to a close for Mouz. They put up a hell of a fight, but remarkable play out of Fogged. I mean, just truly and genuinely remarkable. And now, with 1 racks already down, they're going to look to slow siege this top racks. Now, they do still have Mag, and Mag has RP. That alone is going to make this a chancy proposition. Now he's just going to go for it. He gets disrupted. Universe is there laying into the tower, using Flakin to do damage, and beautiful Ice Path locked him down. Fate is going to die before he can RP. They cleaned him up before he could RP, and you know why? Because of Rubik again. What an Ice Path. What a play. And Mouz gonna be exiting this game with the GGs coming out at 42 minutes. My God, what an unbelievable showing from Fog. The guy,
wow.
I mean, seriously, I have not seen a Rubik play this well in competitive Dota. I simply have not.
That was crazy. I can't believe that. The thing is that Ice Path was just preemptive as well. He maybe sent something. That was just ridiculous. That completely won the game. Yeah, he made some really well plays. In fact, all of Dignitas played really well. Fog, definitely one of the best this game on individual showing, no doubt. Mouz did give a good fight, and this game was very exciting, I would have to say.
The Ancient's gonna blow, and Mouz gonna be taking their exit from the G-1 Western Qualifier as Dignitas prevails. 43 minutes and 10 seconds, the official game time. 27-17, the final kill score. And I'll tell you what, join Dota's top 5. This game's going in the next edition. What an outstanding display of individual skill and team play revolving around Rubik. I'm AC, you're here on One More Game TV2. Want to thank you, Fly, for being a part of the broadcast. Once again, my friend, would love if people would check you out. Tell them where they can find you.
First of all, thank you all for having me. I'm sorry for all the problems I've caused. But yeah, you can find me on Facebook at TalFlyIsaac. And yeah, you can check Fnatic's site for more updates on the team and so on. But yeah.
There you go. Make sure you check him out. Any final thoughts as we say goodbye, my friend?
Oh, not too much, but those games were really nice. Both first games were sort of stomps, but this game was a great way to end it. I really liked the way Dignitas played, and yeah, well-deserved victory.
Thanks again, my friend. Hopefully we'll be able to get you back sometime in the near future. You enjoy your evening, okay?
Thank you very much for having me.
Once again, that's Fnatic's Fly. And once again, oh, Fogged, you make me moist, boy.